So let's talk about a recipe. Not for food, though. This is a recipe for fighting one of the toughest diseases out there, cancer. It involves heat, incredibly complex math, and a whole new way of thinking. Let's get into it.
Here's the big question, right? How do you cook a tumor perfectly? I mean, think about it. To destroy cancer cells with heat, you've got to hit that perfect sweet spot. A little too cool, and the cancer just shrugs it off. But go a little too hot, and you start damaging all the healthy tissue around it. So what's the secret?
So, that first ingredient, the most important one, is temperature. It all boils down to getting that heat just right. And for years, scientists have been refining a technique to do exactly that. That technique is called hyperthermia, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. You're exposing body tissue to high temperatures to either kill cancer cells outright or, soften them up for other treatments like radiation. It's an amazing tool, but its success hinges entirely on one thing: getting the heat prediction right. Now, to make those predictions, doctors and scientists have been using a standard recipe for a long, long time. But here's the thing. As any chef will tell you, a simple recipe just doesn't cut it for a really complicated dish. For ages, the go-to instruction manual has been this mathematical model called the Penne's bioheat equation, or PBE for short. It's been the bedrock of thermal treatment for a while, but it's built on a really flawed assumption. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old recipe, the PBE, basically assumes a tumor is like a smooth, perfectly round meatball that heats up nice and evenly. But the reality, it's the complete opposite. Real tumors are messy, they're complex, jagged, and totally unpredictable. You just can't use a simple recipe for a dish this complicated. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? Tumors are not simple. The old recipe was missing some of the most important, kind of hidden ingredients. So, the researchers behind this new work point out that cancer cells aren't just little spheres. They have what's called an almost fractal geometry. Now, what on earth does that mean for our recipe? Well, it changes everything. Okay, so think of these fractal dimensions, the paper calls them alpha, as the tumor's texture. It's the difference between cooking a smooth meatball versus a jagged piece of broccoli, right? The heat is going to move through that complex, repeating, branching texture in a totally different way than it would through a simple sphere. And then there's the second hidden ingredient. Researchers call it nonlocal interactions, or beta. A great way to think about this is like flavor infusion. When you toss a bay leaf into a stew, its flavor doesn't just stay in one little spot. It infuses the whole pot. It's kind of like that with heat in a tumor. Heating one spot can have these unexpected long-range effects on cells that are actually far away. The heat can literally jump. So if the old recipe is just too simple, what's the answer? Well, researchers figured it was time to tear it up and write a new, seriously upgraded recipe, one that actually accounts for all these weird, complex ingredients. And what they came up with is the non-local fractal Penne's bioheat equation, or NFPBE. It's a mouthful, I know, but every part of that name is critical. It takes the original Penne's equation and supercharges it by adding in those two missing pieces, the fractal texture and the non-local heat infusion. So, how does this new recipe actually work? Well, when you break it down, it's a pretty logical four-step process. First, it just accepts that tumors are messy and complex. Second, it plugs in that fractal texture. Third, it adds the non-local infusion of heat. And what do you get at the end? A way, way more accurate prediction of what's actually going to happen when you turn up the heat. So, you've got a better recipe. What happens when you use it? Well, the predictions are frankly kind of shocking. They really show just how much the old model was getting wrong. And here's the absolute key takeaway. Accounting for the tumor's texture and the way heat travels through it isn't just a minor tweak. These things completely, dramatically change the outcome. They can mean the difference between a treatment that does nothing and one that actually works. I mean, just look at what the new model can predict. These results show the temperature inside the tumor over time. In one scenario, where the model doesn't fully account for the tumor's true nature, the temperature barely budges from normal body temp. That's not going to do anything. But then, when the model includes a more realistic texture and infusion, bam! The temperature skyrockets to over 60 degrees Celsius. That is deep in the kill zone for cancer cells. That's the ballgame right there. Let's put that into perspective. You start at normal body temperature, 37 degrees. The low-impact model barely moves the needle. It's a dud. But the high-impact model, the one that actually understands the tumor's properties, sends the temperature soaring. That's the predictive power we're talking about.
And this isn't just some fascinating math problem for a whiteboard. This new recipe could have huge, real-world consequences for making cancer treatment smarter and a lot more effective.
So why does a better recipe matter so much? Because every single tumor is unique. This is a huge shift in thinking. We can finally move away from a generic, one-size-fits-all approach and get to something that's truly personal. It means doctors can create a precision cooking plan that's perfectly tailored to destroy each patient's specific tumor. All right, let's recap the big ideas from our new recipe. First, the old models, way too simple for the job. We now know that tumors are incredibly complex, with these weird fractal-like structures. We also know that heat spreads in these strange, non-local ways. The good news? New math can finally handle all that complexity, which should lead to much more precise and effective treatments. And the researchers themselves say it best. The final temperature, whether the treatment actually works, all depends on understanding these strange new dimensions. The key is hidden inside the tumor's own complex geometry.
And that just leaves us with this really incredible thought to chew on. If we can use math to write the perfect recipe for cooking a tumor, what other complex diseases, like Alzheimer's or heart disease, are just out there waiting for us to find their perfect equation?